It's still called the Hershey train, the train that goes to and from the town named in 1916 after its founder, the American chocolate magnate, Milton Hershey. He built the town for his workers around a giant sugar refinery. And the train took the sugar to the nearby ports of Havana and Matanzas to be sent off to the U.S. to make his famous chocolate bars. 88-year-old Victor Insebret remembers that as a child he only spoke English. His family had come to Hershey from Jamaica to cut cane when sugar was king.
Now it's all over. There is no more sugar production. They've closed the refinery. And when they did that, the town was finished.
Hershey is indeed a shadow of its former self. The Cienfuegos refinery, once Cuba's largest, is now being dismantled. But all that could change with the imminent renewal of diplomatic ties between Havana and Washington and the easing of U.S. economic sanctions. Cuba has suddenly become a magnet for visiting foreign dignitaries and foreign investors interested in possibly making all this come back to life. In the last month, it's been a non-stop pilgrimage from the French president and the head of the Russian parliament to European and Asian foreign ministers, all accompanied by business executives eager to position themselves in Cuba before the Americans move in. It's as though a curtain's been lifted.
Because the Empire has blessed us in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. When the United States announced in December that it wanted good relations with Cuba, it took away the fear that so many people and leaders had about doing business with Cuba.
But while the level of interest is unprecedented, moving towards normal diplomatic ties and even taking Cuba off the list of state sponsors of terror is not enough.
They still have a country that is subject to an embargo that is legislated, and that elevates the level of compliance and risk. So when you do that cost-benefit analysis, Cuba's not quite there yet.
And it's not just American companies that are cautious. As the French president complained, the Helms-Burton Act, passed by the U.S. Congress 19 years ago, still sanctions even foreign companies that do business with Cuba and the U.S. Still, there's consensus that it's only a matter of time before these remnants of the Cold War, like so many other things in Cuba, become a thing of the past and eventually melt away. Lucia, Newman, Al Jazeera, Hershey, Cuba.